Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am normally so positive on this channel. I don't like to, especially with boxers, they all risk their life to get in there and fight. But what I saw today was beyond farcical. I mean, it's a circus act and it just diminishes the whole entire sport and all the people that devote their life to being the very best and performing. I see better quality fights when I go down to my local pub on a Sunday night to watch just the local amateur talent, even just the white collar boxing. I see better quality fighters and people that have investment and interest in being a boxer, in becoming something, and they're fighting there for, maybe $80, right? I just saw two people put on a circus act. And look, there's two elements to this, because we got to talk about the fight and we got to talk about the event. If we talk about the fight, I mean, it was, I don't even know what to say about that fight. I saw Jake Paul put in a 22-foot ring so that he could spend the whole entire fight running around and not engaging. And when he did engage, it was trying to do a grappling takedown, because that's boxing. That's what somebody that wants to become a cruiserweight world champion does. Tries to do a double leg takedown over Anthony Joshua. The whole fight was putrid to watch, to sit and just, honestly, it did my fucking head in watching that. And like I said, I like to be positive about most boxing, but I didn't see a positive in that fight. And people are going to slander Anthony Joshua. They are. People are going to be on his neck saying, what the fuck was that? Why didn't you knock him out in the first round? And I can understand that, because I think it's more people just wanting to see Jake Paul put in his fucking place. And if we talk about Anthony Joshua first, Anthony Joshua came up against a fighter today that spent the whole entire time running around, trying to do a takedown, try to wrestle him, didn't engage, didn't do anything. Yeah, AJ should be better. AJ should have been closing down the ring and working for the knockout rather than just swinging wildly at something that's not there. That is AJ, and that's on him, and that reflects very poorly on him. But other than that, I mean, AJ spends his life fighting people that have gone in there to fight him, whether it was Usyk, whether it was Klitschko, whether it was at amateurs in the Olympics. People were there to fight him, and people were there to make a contest. And Anthony Joshua came up against today somebody that went there to spoil the fight, somebody went there that had no interest in fighting, somebody that tried to take him down, wrestle, run around, and just ruin the whole entire fucking night. No output, no nothing. And a bit like when we watched Canelo versus Skull, as much criticism came on Canelo for not closing down the ring and winning that fight, his opponent just ran a fucking round. And that's probably my biggest criticism, was because I don't even know what to make of Jake Paul's performance. In terms of the finishes to that fight, I thought that some of those punches that Jake Paul was, fall down, going on the ground, didn't even land. I didn't even see a punch land. The knockout, that one landed. That was a big right hand right on the chin and hurt Jake Paul. But I think he was looking for a way out from about the fourth round. All right, I think he was looking for a way out. He was faking stuff that I didn't even think hit him. I mean, he was complaining about a low blow and got 2 minutes for a punch that wasn't even thrown. Like, they showed it on the replay that there was not even a punch thrown when he was claiming that he was hit low. And it's shit like that you're like, what the fuck am I watching? I have full respect for you if you go in there and you get knocked out, but you've competed well and you've just been outclassed. But what I saw tonight was just a pathetic performance of a circus clown that's, yeah, he's just made a lot of money, but it just diminishes our entire sport. And it was pathetic. It was pathetic. And I'd love to see some replays as I go through the week of the punches that dropped Jake Paul, because for me, I didn't see any clean landing. The one that landed on his chin at the end, don't get me wrong, that was a clean right hand and it would have dropped basically everyone. But up until that point, I saw a guy that was looking for a way out, a guy that was pretending to be hurt, a guy that didn't want to get hurt and was pretending. And that's all I saw. I saw somebody pretending, someone pretending to be a boxer, someone pretending to be something that he's not. And yeah, it just diminishes our whole sport. And the worst part is, right, it puts a dampener on the event, because we saw a great performance by Alicia Baumgartner. We saw a great performance by Janika Johnson. The Tyron Woodley versus Anderson Silva is another circus act. Why did I see a 50-year-old versus a 45-year-old, two retired UFC fighters in a boxing ring? I have no fucking clue. And the fact that that went on the main card when we have undisputed titles, we have Caroline Dubois, we have Yokasta Vale, all fighting for belts, Janika Johnson, all on the prelims. The real boxers, the real people that have devoted their life to this sport, put on the prelims, right? Not fighting in front of a huge crowd when they've done everything to deserve that, to watch Tyron Woodley versus Anderson Silva and Jake Paul pretend to be a boxer. I mean, this has been a round and a half, but what I've just seen was, it's a fucking sin. It's a fucking crime against boxing. And yeah, it was pathetic, and it's going to reflect poorly on Anthony Joshua because he didn't get the knockout and everything else, and I can understand that. But I think there's also a level of, the guy has been out of the ring for 15 months. He did come up against a guy that did not go there to box. All right, he went there to ruin the fucking night, went there to spoil everything, went there to run around and not fight. All right, that wasn't a real man that Anthony Joshua was in there with tonight. And look, I know it's going to reflect poorly on Anthony Joshua, and he's got to live with that because he probably started the fight poorly, didn't fight the way he should have, didn't work for the knockout, was hunting for it. But at the same time, he went into a fight where if he didn't secure a round one knockout, everybody was going to slander him anyway. If he boxed excellently for the first round, second round, knocked him out in the third round, people would still be on his neck saying, why didn't you knock him out in the first round? He's not a boxer. So Anthony Joshua, he took a paycheck. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place. I don't think he really fucking cares. If he gets the Tyson Fury fight, that's when I will really go on the back of Anthony Joshua and how he performs. Tonight was a nothing. It was a media stunt. It was just crap. And Jake Paul, I mean, it takes a lot of guts to get hit in the jaw, but you've lost basically everybody's respect up until that point anyway. And I believe that anybody worth their time in boxing gets up from that right hand. I know it's a big right hand, but I think they get up. So yeah, I don't have much positive to say about that fight, and everybody watching it, I'd love to hear your thoughts because I just, yeah. And then I hear Jake Paul saying, I'm going to come back and I'm going to go get a cruiserweight championship. Anybody that gives this guy an opportunity off the back of that to fight for a world championship needs to look themselves in the mirror and say, you're ruining this fucking sport, all right? Whether that's a governing body, whether that is an individual themselves, you're ruining this sport. Unless it's Jai Opetaia and Jai Opetaia goes in there and kills the cunt, like, that's probably the only positive that you're looking at if he takes on a cruiserweight champ. If Jai wants to take that fight, I don't think he takes it as a joke. This guy is a killer and he'll be in there to do a job, but he's too much of a serious athlete to take such a fucking circus act, and that's the thing. Anybody that takes this is a bit of a reflection of Jake Paul, and you know, you entertain a fool, you make a fool of yourself, and I think AJ did a bit of that tonight. But like I said, no matter what Anthony Joshua did tonight, he was going to be slandered for it. I'll be honest, no matter what he did. The positives are, I got to see Jake Paul eat a massive right hand from from Anthony Joshua, get his jaw broken, and that's probably all the positives I saw tonight. I'm sorry. I love boxing. I do. I love it. I watch it at every single level, right? Whether it is amateur, whether it is domestic, whether it is world level, whatever it is, if it is on, I am watching it. And, you know, I see boxers all around the world spend their life devoting themselves to this sport. And then you see someone like Jake Paul take the piss out of it. And that's what he did today. If Jake Paul came in there today and fought a boxing fight, and not whatever he did today, which was spend half the time fucking the canvas, I would respect the guy. I would, because it takes a lot of guts, all right? If Francis Ngannou took that fight, an MMA fighter, against Anthony Joshua and got his ass handed to him, but I still have the same amount of respect I do for Francis Ngannou before and after the fact, because I know what he achieved at MMA level. I know what he achieved in boxing against Tyson Fury. I know the guts it takes to eat a punch like that. What I saw from Jake Paul today was pathetic, to say the least. And yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Look, I'm normally much more positive than this about boxing, and today was just, it was a bad day for boxing, in my opinion.